local all morning. You're watching Fox 61 Morning News.
Now at 6, this is a live look at the Concierge apartments in Rocky Hill as several people have now moved back in after getting a mandatory evacuation notice more than a week ago. But many are still unable to return. We'll tell you where everything stands coming up in a live report with Glenn Kittle. But first, we want to say good morning. It is Friday, February 13th. Glad you're with us on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Bridget Bjorlo.
And I'm Erica Arias. Happy Friday. We're feeling good.
Yes.
We hope you are as well, as we toss things over to Rachel for some good news when it comes to weather-wise, especially for folks who are looking forward to an extra long weekend.
Yeah, and even if you're maybe made plans for Valentine's Day for today instead of tomorrow, it's going to be a nice one despite the chillier start. So we do have a nice stretch of weather as we head into this upcoming weekend. Temperatures out the door this morning, yes, they are colder than this time yesterday. We're sitting anywhere from 4 to about 10 degrees colder, which is what we expected. We expected to see some of us in the teens, and that is exactly what we have. So 15 degrees in Torrington right now, 17 in Waterbury. It's 14 degrees in Willimantic, near 20 in Hartford, 16 degrees in Windsor Locks. There's a little bit of wind this morning, taking our numbers down just a little bit, but we are anticipating less wind throughout the day today. On our satellite and radar picture, we have some thin wispy clouds out there. Otherwise, no issues with our wind speeds, as I mentioned, 3 to about 10 miles per hour. Some areas are reported calm, so not bad in terms of our wind speeds. We are expecting a lot of sunshine throughout the day today. It's not going to go anywhere once the sun comes up in the 6 o'clock hour here. Temperatures will get around 31 degrees at noontime, into the mid to upper 30s this afternoon. So a near average day is expected with mid to upper 30s. 38 in Wallingford, 37 in Hartford, 38 degrees in Middletown along the shoreline. We'll get into the mid to upper 30s. Norwich 38, 36 in Killingly. Let's check in with some of our areas that are typically cooler at 34 degrees in Torrington, 33 today in Winstead. Heading through tonight, we will see an increase in cloud coverage. And then as you wake up tomorrow morning, some of us may be waking up with a brief coating in spots of snow. This isn't a significant issue. It won't be widespread, but some of us may see a brief snow shower. Otherwise, temperatures on Saturday, more melting ongoing. Temperatures will be in the 40s in the afternoon under a mix of sun and clouds. After a cold start for our Sunday, temperatures rebound to near average. We'll talk about that storm that was potentially on the way for Monday. We'll talk a little bit more about how that is going to largely be a miss for us coming up in just a bit. Here at 6:02, we are following a couple of things on the roadways this morning, so just heads up for folks. We don't have any we don't have any road work in the area, but we also have Route 272 in Goshen, both directions at Parker Hill Road, and Route 262 still reported closed at this hour because of a crash. And then over in the Franklin area, we also have this closure on Route 32, both directions at Plains and Baltic Road. That is blocked off this morning because of a crash as well that happened yesterday. Waterbury, Naugatuck look fine. New London and East Haven on 95, all running smoothly with light volume. Erica.
Rachel, thanks. Renters at the Concierge apartments in Rocky Hill continue to be forced out of their home, and they have to stay in hotels. But several tenants have been told that they can return to their units. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is live at the Concierge apartments there in Rocky Hill. And Glenn, some people are being told they can go home, but others, they're being told still another week before they can get back.
Yeah, good morning. We've been hearing about those reports all week long. It's definitely going to be a wait for some of those people that are still in the hotels. But meanwhile, for the people that are returning here to the Concierge apartments, we've been hearing about what's going on inside for those returning. There are still some leaking pipes as well as fire alarms going off. Now, this all stems from frozen pipes that burst just a couple of weeks ago that forced the tenants at the Concierge apartments to evacuate so that way they could fix the damages here. Now, we're being told by people moving back in that there has been severe lack of communication between them and the Concierge management. Multiple people told Fox 61 that their best source of information is often the front desk at the hotel that they're staying in. One renter didn't want to go on camera, but he said that he had to move from his hotel back into the apartment because the Concierge told him to check out and leave the hotel by 11 p.m.
As for an update, I think Monday, and I was told we're not going to be back by Tuesday, right? So I didn't make plans to be back by Tuesday. And then on Tuesday, we got an email at like 2 p.m. telling us to come back home. And we're told we had to leave the hotel by like 11 p.m. the same night.
Now, Attorney General William Tong has been in conversations with the property owners here to try and get some compensation for the people renting apartments. Meanwhile, an investigation into the incident here is still ongoing. We'll be sure to bring you the latest updates as we learn more. But for right now, live in Rocky Hill, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, thanks. What a frustrating situation there for so many. Hopefully they can...
The situation had gotten so bad. There were certain classrooms that were absolutely freezing. Kids were in blankets and coats. Closure is new, but the fight for heat in the school is not new.
In Oxford, parents of students at Quaker Farm School are sharing their concerns about the conditions that led to leaders closing the school for an entire week, pushing out the end of the school year by 8 days. Fox 61's Stephen Reel spoke with families who say these issues are not anything new.
No one wants to send their child to school in the cold, and understandably, the parents that I spoke with said they're frustrated. Simply, and that's because the heating issues here at Quaker have been present for years now. The school has slowly canceled classes over the course of the week, a day at a time, but Thursday and Friday were canceled altogether because a generator did not arrive on time. And crews are said to be working around the clock to fix the heating and leaks in the school, which also include the sprinkler system. I spoke with a parent of a Quaker student, Jessica Gurnett, and she told me she's advocated to get a new HVAC system here since 2023 for both Quaker and the other elementary school here in Oxford. She told me this just feels like the town doesn't care about what they have.
In 2023, right at the end of the year, we finally got permission to apply for a grant. At this point, the project I heard is like maybe about halfway done, but now we have this catastrophic failure and we're scrambling in an emergency.
So how does that make you feel?
Just like it's just been kicked down the road and neglected like so many other things in this town.
I spoke with another parent on Facebook, and she told me that her kids also went through Quaker, and they also had to deal with canceled classes due to a lack of heat. But this time around, the superintendent says that classes will continue to stay canceled through the planned winter break, which is scheduled to end on the 18th of February. That's next Tuesday. But this also means that the end of school for these students will be pushed to June 19th. In Oxford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
6:07 right now, and we're learning new details about the school bus crash involving students from Nonawag High School. Officials say 8 students were on board at the time. 5 were taken to the hospital, including 2 with serious injuries. Police say 65-year-old Richard Esty rear-ended the bus and then pushed it into another vehicle. Esty was arrested and charged with driving under the influence and also failure to obey a traffic signal. He was released on $25,000 bond. A local alumni association is working with community members to raise money for the students who were injured. The crash remains under investigation. Police are investigating a crash involving a school bus in Watertown. This one happened at about 8:20 yesterday morning on Guernsey Town Road. Officials say sun glare may have been a factor. 10 students were on board the bus. None were hurt. Police say a car hit an SUV and then pushed it into the bus. 2 people in the other vehicle were injured, but they're expected to be okay.
6:08 now. Connecticut State Police are investigating a hit and run in Tolland. Troopers say a vehicle was driving on Mile Hill Road when it hit a person walking along the shoulder with a snowblower. The driver then left the scene. The person hit was taken to Hartford Hospital, we're told, with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are now looking for a white sedan with possible front passenger side damage near the wheel well. The vehicle is believed to have continued toward Vernon. Anyone with information is asked to contact state police.
A fire forced 5 people out of their home in Berlin yesterday afternoon. It happened at a home on Ripple Court just after 12:15 in the afternoon. When crews got there, they found heavy smoke coming from the basement. The fire was put out fairly quickly. Officials say the home sustained smoke and minor structural damage. No injuries were reported. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
6:09 now, and Meriden police have released new details in a series of armed robberies that happened between September and November of last year. Corey Alexis and Gardy Roman have both been arrested. Police say during an October gas station robbery, Roman was armed with a knife, jumped over the counter, took cash from the register, and then ran off. Roman was initially charged with robbery and 5th-degree larceny. Police say the larceny charge has since been upgraded to 3rd-degree larceny.
A Wolcott man is facing federal charges in what prosecutors say was a years-long cryptocurrency fraud scheme. Authorities are accusing 24-year-old Elam Redzapagic of promising investors high returns on crypto investments and then telling them that they needed to pay extras in the gas fees to unlock their profits. Instead of investing the money, prosecutors say he funneled nearly $1 million to an offshore gambling site, and those funds were apparently lost. A grand jury indicted Reza Pajic on 21 counts, including wire fraud and money laundering. He claims that he's innocent. And local leaders in Tallinn say they feel blindsided after learning that the state intends to build a 20-bed secure criminal detention center for serious juvenile offenders in their town. People that live in the area say that they're shocked that the town was not initially informed by the state. The juvenile detention center is expected to be built at 303 Marrow Road. That's a road that's near several businesses. It's pretty heavily traveled. Due to a non-disclosure agreement between the state and the seller, Tallinn's town manager says the state will not share any more information with them. He added that the state never notified any town officials, state representative, or their state senator.
The higher ups who think about these things, like, why not good things for the kids in Tallinn? Why detention centers?
The town manager says that they're exploring their legal options and will be discussing this matter at their next town council meeting on February 24th at 7 p.m.
State police say one of their fallen troopers is being remembered far from home. A lieutenant colonel with the Hellenic Police in Greece shared photos after finding a Connecticut State Police sticker honoring Trooper First Class Aaron Pelletier at the Pindos National Park. CSP says it's meaningful to see Pelletier's memory recognized internationally, calling it a reflection of the unity within the law enforcement community.